Hey guys, Shelisa B here. Okay, another quick 60 seconds-ish. It always goes over 60 seconds. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about energy, your own personal energy. The reason is I had a conversation with someone else today who was saying that they just feel like people don't respond to them well, people don't like them, it's hard for them to make friends. And what I'm about to tell you about energy isn't 100% a blanket rule across the board, right? But one of the things that we got into in this conversation is about that person's energy, their energy themselves, and what they're putting out there in the world. What I tend to say to people when I'm having a conversation that kind of hovers around how people are reacting to that individual, it usually is a pretty in-depth conversation, but I tend to say that they need to take responsibility for the energy that they are putting out in the world. That doesn't mean that other people may be completely misreading you, but your energy is extremely powerful and it is packaged in a whole bunch of things. Let's just mainly label it as your overall body language. So it's the way you're walking, it's the way you're talking, it's your facial expressions, it's the tone that you're using. Are you looking down at the ground more? Before your mind goes to, I want to know what those people are thinking about me or why they don't like me or whatever the case is, before you go there, those are definitely questions that you want to, think about and explore and maybe connect with those individuals and see where they're at with you. The first thing I would do though is really look at yourself first and really try to evaluate the energy that you kind of emit when you walk into a room. If you have a very close friend, colleague, partner, whatever, who you trust and you go to them and say, look, how am I really showing up? If you have to be ready to hear the answer, so you can't get mad if they turn around, they're like, yeah, you kind of look like you suck when you walk into a room. You look mad a lot. So you have to go into this conversation with a very open mind, and you have to be prepared to receive what comes your way. And it's not to say that what comes your way is gospel, but it's definitely feedback that you should process in your mind, right? So if you have someone that is a trusted person in your life, you can start the conversation there. Also take time though to look and kind of really as objectively as possible look at your own energy. Here's the thing, and I learned this about myself at the very beginning of my career. I observed this about myself very early in my career, and then I understood it much later. So very early in my career, I would see, let's say, my boss coming down the hallway like huffing and puffing, and Matt doesn't say hello, kind of just passes me by, and the first thing I think is, oh God, he's mad at me. What did I do? Bad, how self-absorbed, right? Now, years later, then I learned about, design thinking. And within design thinking, they teach, a technique to really understand users and its observation. And within observation, the way that we teach it now, I teach design thinking. So the way that we teach it is, your mind has to figure out and observe the what, not the why when you are observing, because your mind likes to fill in white space. So when I think back to the very beginning of my career, that's exactly what I was doing. I was filling in the white space. So for you in this conversation now, when I'm talking about taking responsibility for your energy, understand that unintentionally, people are taking in what you are putting out, and they are filling in the white space, and people tend to make it about them, and they tend to tell that story that will probably then create a bit of a divide or a bit of a separation emotionally between yourself and them. So just be aware that that's sort of how they are consuming your energy. It's totally written with a ton of assumptions, but that's what the mind likes to do, is fill in that white space. And in my case, way back when, it literally never had to do, however he was huffing and puffing in any particular day, never had anything to do with me. And if I go back and remember, and if I look at those moments when he was actually wanted to talk to me about something that maybe I should improve on, he would come directly to me and tell me about it. First things first, really take a look, and almost like an inventory of how you're showing up. Take a look at your tone. Take a look at your body language. Are you smiling a lot? There is so much power in smiling, you guys. That instantly signals to the other person that you're cool with them, and it puts them at ease, and it'll create an instant connection. But be very aware how you show up when you're in the presence of other people. Things happen in life, right? I say this all the time. Things happen. So let's say you just had a really bad morning. who knows, whatever, you were stuck in traffic, something, your baby was sick all night, whatever the case is, you're a human being and you have feelings, and those feelings are going to show. Here's what I recommend in moments where if you check the energy that you're putting out, and you know that you're not in a position to shift that energy, so you're not in a position to be able to kind of perk yourself up or consciously shift your body language and your tone and so on, that's fair, you guys. That is very fair, because stuff happens. But then what I would strongly recommend is to put some effort into your day and see if there are ways that you can limit sort of some of the interactions that you will be having with certain individuals. And for the individuals that you need to interact with, I would highly recommend that you go, hey, you know what, look, before we even start our conversation, before we even start this meeting, I need you guys to know I'm having a day. So if I show up like this, it's not you guys, it's other stuff that's going on. And that instantly puts everyone at rest. No one's gonna make any assumptions about the energy that you're putting off, and it really kind of maintains that connection that you have with them. So those are a couple of little things that you can do to kind of mitigate how people receive your energy. But overall, be responsible for the energy, be very mindful of the energy that you're putting out. Take responsibility for it. Connect and connect and connect and connect with people as much as possible. Share how you're feeling and why you're kind of feeling that way. And if it's too personal, then don't share the why. Just say, look, I'm having a bit of a day. And you'll also find that even just those conversations could start to help you, change your energy as well. So that's just a thought I wanted to share with you guys. I do see a lot of kind of heavier energy these days for obvious reasons. And you can see it even on Zoom when you're doing Zoom calls. So anyway, take responsibility for your energy. If you have to be in front of people, apply the things that I talked about, and let me know how it goes for you, okay? See you soon.